Coming to the stage, very, very, very funny. You can catch her all the time. Hashtag comedy. The great shows they put on all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Rowe.
I'm so excited to be here. I really am. I feel like I was always meant to do stand-up comedy because I have the yap gene in my family. Anyone else? Yeah. All the women in my family talk so much, I've never heard my dad's voice. It's crazy. Especially my mom. She'll talk to anyone. Like, she's never known a stranger. And that's not just because I grew up in a small town. No. She'll talk to anyone at all. Like, my mom's intel is crazy. Like, she knows more than the FBI. Or at least like a McDonald's employee. Yeah, my mom knows like so much about what's going on in the town. Like, she knows a couple's getting divorced before they get married. It's crazy. Talking with my mom is like watching a TV show when you missed the previous episode. Like, there's always a new character I'm trying to catch up. Like, I was talking to her earlier today, and she's like, well, you know, Maggie got in another car accident. And I was like, oh my gosh, who's Maggie? She's like, well, she's the girl that works at Aldi's. I'm trying to set her up with your brother. Don't you remember? I was like, I thought her name was Tia. No. Tia was working days, but then she had to move to night shift because her cat is special needs and had kittens. Do you want kittens? I told her I'd ask you if you want another cat. I have 2 cats. I already have cats already, which is very exciting. My mom will give them sweaters for Christmas and then say things like, you know, that'll also fit a newborn. It's kind of a fat cat. There's no bigger desperation than a parent that really wants grandkids. Anyone else can relate to that? It's crazy. I remember when I was a kid growing up, I asked my parents, I was like, why did you name me Hannah? And my mom was like, well, honey, in the Bible, Hannah was a mother. I try not to read too much into it. I really don't. That's crazy. They were thinking about that before I was born. You know, the planning is crazy. I try not to think about too much, like why they named me that or why they named my brother what they did. Cain. He killed his brother. So you guys don't know. No. Ever since my brother and I were old enough to date, like 25, my mom's been trying to set us up. Not with each other. With like other people. So she's been trying to set us up with other people, right? And she'll like go to like a restaurant or like at the checkout at Aldi or whatever and show them a photo of us that she keeps in her wallet. And she's been doing this for 15 years. And the photos haven't changed since we were in high school. So the people are getting older, like in their 40s for my brother. And she's like, you want to go on a date with a junior in high school? It's so bad. One time my mom did this, and the guy ended up being a cop. And you see all these scams on Facebook about like people kidnapping or whatever. So he handcuffs her and takes her down to the station. Yeah. They let her go, but I had to go on a date with him. She was like, he was a nice Christian man, Hannah. He was a nice... It didn't work out between me and the cop, though, because he was disappointed I wasn't 16. Nah, that's fine. Growing up really religious, though, you know, we talked about death a lot. It was like a big thing. Like my dad would burst into the room and he'd be like, hey, just so you know, don't get rid of that chair. That's a good chair. That was your great-great-grandfather's chair. He died in that chair. It's got good bones like he did. Remember that? It's crazy. My mom will say stuff, too. She'll be like, Hannah, don't buy an Instapot, okay? Don't buy an Instapot. You can have mine when I die. That's always a tough conversation, you know, because I love my mom, but I really love pot roast. am still Christian, though. I am. I've kind of relaxed on trying to convert people, though. I'm trying to just live enough by like what Jesus said, like defend the weak, help the poor, give tax breaks to the rich, like the really important stuff I try to focus on. I really do. When I was a kid in high school, even, I would like write down my friends' names and where I thought they were gonna go. I'd be like, Holly, heaven. Megan, hell. Elizabeth, Mormon? Whatever that means. Don't read too much into it. I surely don't. No, but hold on one sec. I just have my set list on my water bottle in case you guys don't know. These are all new jokes I'm trying out for the first time. Thank you. Yes. I'm going to edit out that part. I did grow up in a very Christian and white town. It was so Christian and white that when I was in high school, we did Fiddler on the Roof, actually. And that's not what was weird. What was weird is that, for those of you that don't know, Fiddler on the Roof is about oppressed Jews in Imperial Russia getting kicked out from their villages. It's a very sad play. And they decided to do it in a 99% white and Christian town. To give you an idea, we had to bring in a Jew from Cleveland. That was the closest one, okay? It's an hour away. And the person was like giving us the blessing, but we had to like take classes on Judaism. That was like the trade-off. I'm like, at this point, let's just do Jesus Christ Superstar. And I thought that was bad enough, but the next year we did The Color Purple. That's pretty weird. No one had layers, I had layers. Yeah. Kids were really weird too in school growing up. Like, they're weirdly political, which I always thought was bizarre. Like, they'd come up with chants around the like election time. Like, they'd be like, vote for Bush, kick Kerry in the tush. Like, you're a bore if you vote for Al Gore. Or like, what was the other one? It was, we demand to see Obama's birth certificate. Just things that kids come up with on their own, It's fine. It's all good. I was single all throughout high school. I was single because I was so religious and everything. I didn't date. I had some friends that dated, actually. Some of them even had purity rings, which I always thought was pretty cool. I didn't have a purity ring because I didn't date, because I wasn't a whore. But I didn't judge my friends, for dating, because even Jesus hung out with prostitutes. I am engaged now. Recently engaged. The proposal was such a surprise, I'll never trust him again. That's great. My fiance is an immigrant, but we have more in common than you'd think. Like, he went to school in the UK, and I went to a public school in Ohio, so, what? Yeah, public school! Yes, we have a lot more in common. Like, neither of us know American history. We have a lot to talk about. That's good. I have one more thing before I get out here, but like I said, I've grown up in a small town. I'm doing comedy, and I always wanted to be a famous kid growing up on Disney Channel. You'd always see those kids like Zendaya was hanging out at a park and discovered, and now she's on Disney. Or Hillary Duff was hanging out at a mall and discovered, and now she's on Disney. It kind of makes you think, who are all these people discovering kids at malls and parks? How do you build up that resume? I got a lot of years discovering kids at malls and parks. And they're well, do you like feet? Because Nickelodeon's hiring. I really wanted to be a household name. I really did. I was willing to take Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, a milk carton, whatever it took. I saw a couple America's Most Wanted. I was like, that's pretty good work. I wonder if they're a union or not. But had one problem, is that my reach wasn't very good in this small town. But I realized I could use my parents' business, because my parents had a small business where they owned a couple rental properties in northeastern Ohio. So I could get my name out, not just to like Akron, but big time, Youngstown. I realized I could do this if I sang in the background of my parents' phone calls. Yeah, and I wasn't allowed to listen to, what do you guys call it? Not Satan music? No, secular music. I was only allowed to listen to like Christian music or Creed. I could listen to either of those. And so I only knew one song, but I knew it really well, which is Ode to Joy. And I was like, oh, I'll do it in the style of Creed, because I'm avant-garde. I learned most of my words from reading, so I don't know how to say that, avant-garde. Yeah. And so the phone would ring, they'd be like, ring, ring, hi, I'm calling about it. And I'd start, joyful, joyful, we adore thee, one-bedroom God of glory, Lord of love, apartment, hearts unfold like flowers before thee. In Youngstown, opening to the sun above, no pets, melt the clouds of sin and sadness. Did I call it Catholic school? Drive the dark of death away. Is that kid okay? Give her of mortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Can you take me higher to a place where and my parents' rental sat empty for years. For years. It was crazy. So I never got on Disney, obviously. But I also never got abducted, because that was annoying. Anyways, you guys have been so great. I'm Hannah Romes. Give it up for your wonderful host.